In Belarus, Dmitry Karankevich was an entrepreneur. He had his own small business. Last spring, he joined the election campaign of Viktor Babariko, a presidential candidate in the Republic of Belarus. In addition, Dmitry hosted an information channel in the Telegram about events in his hometown. In the fight against Lukashenko, he, like many Belarusians, were led not by a dream, but by hope. We didn't dream, we had a hope that the government will change and we will choose the person we want. That we will be given this opportunity to choose. It was taken away from us. Dmitry was detained in mid-November on the territory of his house. Two people without official issued uniforms jumped me. Immediately after my arrest, they took me to my house, said that they had a paper for the examination of my house, but in fact there was no examination, there was a search. They started opening the cupboards and began checking the bedside tables. At some point they began to intimidate me in the presence of my pregnant wife. Dmitry was threatened that he would be taken to the forest and there they would talk to him. After the arrest and the end of the search, he was put in a car and taken to the regional police department. The interrogation lasted more than 8 hours, without breaks, without the option to go to the toilet or drink water, and so on. After the interrogation, Dmitry ended up in a prison cell. In total, he spent 18 days in custody, out of which 8 days in solitary confinement. There was a cell for 8 people, though I was there alone. It was cold enough, as the windows were open, it was impossible to close them, because the window is located. Here's the window and here's a metal gate, that is. Here I'm showing the real distance. It is impossible to squeeze either your hand through the metal gate nor anything else. It is impossible to close the window. Although, on the other hand, it played to my advantage, because when I got into the cell, it was heavily treated with bleach. Well, it was impossible to breathe in there. So, due to the fact that the windows were open, I spent most of the night under the windows, so that I could breathe. Because the bleach was eating away at my eyes, it was impossible to properly breathe. I pulled the t-shirt over my face and was breathing through it. One of the ways the police used to break the will of the prisoners was to turn on the radio at full volume from morning until evening. In total, I spent 8 days in solitary confinement, but those days were not in a row. There were periodic breaks when someone would be added in the cell. They even threw items there. I didn't immediately understand why, but when I saw that all items were covered in parasites, lice. Well, when I asked to remove these items, they said let them lie there. For about 12 days, approximately, I was forbidden from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. to be on a bed or lie down. That is, I could only sit on a chair or walk around the cell. With the help of psychological pressure and threats to the family, the police managed to force Dmitry to record the video in which he admitted that he hosted a Telegram channel and asked for people to not engage in such activities. I think that the majority of Belarusians understand that all was done under duress, due to certain circumstances. Yes, I think that working for camera recording helped me not to go to a long term in prison. Well, they let me go for a while. As soon as Dmitry was free, he first decided to flee from his hometown and then from Belarus. Psychological pressure began on my family. First of all, on my wife. They began to be pressured. The wife was threatened that, well, They would take away the child. In the future, they could also take away an unborn child. It was decided that a spouse would leave the country. As soon as I knew that she had left the country, I made a decision to follow her. Dmitry prefers not to talk about how they managed to escape from Belarus. Dmitry is not going to return to his homeland. It is too dangerous for him there. He and his wife decided to stay in Lithuania. In Lithuania, I intend to stay until there is an opportunity to return, until there will be an opportunity to return back to Belarus.